Goblins the name. We all came back with 100% fair play. Only play on Apple, throw your Androids away. Stop queen charging with wall breakers today. Now we only open up cans of spam. And if we fail, we queue up Yetis again. Golden Goblins the name. Hope you're ready for the game.
Hey guys, this is Paname with the Golden Goblins, and I'm going to be doing a recent war versus Paname. It was pretty good in competitive war. The first video here is done by Rien. I've showed his attack before, and I'm very impressed with his gameplay. He seems to prefer queen charge miners, and then he prefers what I've seen so far, the siege barracks over the Yeti blimp. So he's opening up with the funnel here, and he sends, I don't know, that's like four loons, I think, on the archer tower. It looks like he probably expected black bombs or a Tesla farm there with the spaces in between the buildings. So he played cautiously, which I think is good. If you throw down, just a couple loons and then lose it and don't kill the archer tower, it might kind of just unnecessarily mess up your attack. The Tesla farm, however, was where the king entered, and it's always nice funneling with the king because you can use his ability and make sure you get through all the buildings that you need to. And he's using a jump here to get in after creating the funnel, and he's going to get a lot of very important buildings here. He gets, I wonder if he's going to get the second scatter shot, but he gets the CC most importantly in the eagle, and then just a ton of other buildings there in the core. I really like the style that he has because it's very, very overwhelming on the back end with the siege barracks and the hogs coming out. All those extra units not used in the Yeti blimp. When you have a good opening, really just very much overwhelms most spaces. So it seems like he prefers that style, and it works very, very well with him. He has just an extremely high hit rate from what I've seen so far in Golden Goblins. Went directly at the town hall there, and based on the way he opened, it was like kind of like a narrow pathway for the miners and hogs, which is always just very good. If you spread too wide on your opening, the heals won't cover all the units. So when they are tightly bunched in groups, your heals get maximum value. So I really like the pathing that he got from his queen charge opening, and then he just really just walks through the base and kills it with, I don't know how many miners he lost, but he has a ton of units left over. So it was just a really, really good attack. Okay, this next attack on Lockley was done by me. I'm using a queen charge hybrid with a blimp opening here. The Inferno Tower is not accessible by my queen, and it would pick off my healer, so I thought it would be a good entry for my queen here. And my initial thoughts when I was looking at this base was actually to wall break into that compartment where I actually sent the blimp, but then I thought maybe with 2 scatter shots, 2 expos, and then possibly that air sweeper pushing away my healers, that it would just give me like a lot of trouble. And I wasn't sure, even with 3 rages and a couple freezes, if my queen would get through to the eagle. So I thought this entry, I don't know if it had a higher hit rate, but I thought it would be like safer overall, and my queen would get through, because rather than taking on that core directly head on with the queen and taking all of those defenses at once, if I came from either side, and I prefer this side over the other one because the sweeper won't be pushing my healers, that I could take on the defenses like half of them at a time rather than all of them at once, and my queen would have a higher like survival rate and get through to the exactly what I needed her to, which is the eagle, CC, and queen. So it required 2 freezes and 3 rages, but I mean I was able to get through. So given that, and given that I wasn't encountering all expos and scatters at once, I kind of like my decision to go from this pathway instead of wall breaking in. And then, the queen gets exactly what I needed her to get. And then from there on, it's just spamming the hybrid directly at the town hall and letting them path around the base. I typically use the blimp. I think it's just very versatile in how I like to open, and it gives me more entries, even though it is like less overpowering. When I can use the siege barracks, I do, but overall I find that it's just a little bit more versatile in using the blimp right now, and I think it's just very strong. And from here it's just going to be cleanup, and that was actually my first raid on the channel. So up next is Ahmed.gg, and he has a queen charge with pure hog afterwards. So this is not as common these days, so it's kind of fun watching these attacks. This was a very popular attack at Town Hall 12, but Town Hall 13 very much prefers hybrid. So it's cool seeing pure hog again. He uses an ice golem to tank for his king before sending his Yeti blimp. So that's actually quite a bit of like defensive firepower there with all the Tesla farm and all that. So really cool way to plan for the funnel here to make sure the queen always goes in the direction that he wants her to. So he started the king early first before the blimp, which I have actually never seen before, but it looks like it was probably required on this base, because had he done the blimp and then started the queen and then done the king with all those buildings, I think there's a good chance that the queen actually drifts right to start going that way before the funnel is created. So based on the order of his king and blimp and queen, it actually gets her to go the right way every time. So that was really cool. I like this approach that he took, because I always think it's just extremely risky when you're going cross map and then you finish the town hall with the hogs. It's just like sometimes you don't have enough hogs left over. You're not able to use the Grand Warden ability early like he was able to here, which is when I think it's actually the most valuable, because the most hogs are still alive and benefit from the Grand Warden. So planning the raid such that the queen is always going to path towards the town hall, even though it's not charging directly at the town hall. It's 2.5 minutes into the raid before the queen actually kills the town hall, but before the hogs reach it, I think is very, very well planned and safe. This is probably one of the riskiest attacks, going cross map with hogs and finishing at the town hall. So he was able to kind of have the benefits of doing that. But okay, the last raid is done by Caesar here. He's going to be doing queen charge miners with the blimp opening. No wall breakers, no jump, so it's going to save him troop space and spell slots here. He's going to use the Yeti blimp to get the queen to go towards 12 o'clock and probably down that alleyway where everything is actually accessible. So he identified the main weakness in this base, which is actually this alleyway, because if he gets his queen to go down here, he gets the king, the town hall, the eagle, probably that bomb tower, and the CC. So just tremendous value here. going down this little pathway, and really intelligent and good planning by him to identify the weakness. And because he didn't have to use wall breakers and in the jump spell, he's going to have just an overpowering amount of units and spells at the back end of this raid. 28 miners is just a lot. And then he's going to be able to keep the queen alive with the extra rage spell, and then he has, 2 heals in the warden to get the miners through everything. He's funneling the left side with the king, gets the royal champion as well, and he gets his level 14 baby royal champion behind. And that heal spell was pretty good, and the warden ability, that was the point at which kind of everything was grouped, so the heal spell was going to be able to heal up a lot of damage done to his units. And now that the queen is dead, after doing her job and getting like lots and lots of value, the 2 remaining healers are there to support the rest of the raid. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to be doing a spotlight video next on a friend of mine, and then after that we have just finished a very tough war